from Oslo? Well, I'm actually from Oslo, and I've never heard of them.
And you say they're from Melbourne?
Yeah, I think it sounds kind of familiar. Are they the ones that wear budgie smugglers and tape over their nipples?
This was back in 2015. The band from Oslo had been playing around Melbourne for a little over a year, but were still relative unknowns. They had recorded an unreleased EP, but it was a rush job where they attempted to track 5 songs in one debaucherous evening at a friend's makeshift studio.
They kind of just came in and tried to record a couple of songs, but we ended up just getting really stoned and drinking a lot of beers and ended up passing out on the floor. I'm actually surprised we got some music actually recorded.
Not long after this first attempt at recording, a long-time friend of the band introduced them to Rick Bridgman, a powerful music industry figure who at the time was working at a dance music label.
I'd met this guy at a bar and he was telling me all about how he was a bit of a mover and shaker in the biz, and straight away I thought, yeah, I should get him to manage from Oslo. So I took him to the Boys Next show at the Espy in St Kilda.
Band manager Rick Bridgman.
I honestly didn't know what to expect. Guitar music wasn't really my scene. The last band I'd heard of was Fever Artiste, so my expectations were pretty low.
But the connection was instantaneous.
I walk into the venue and straight away Josh runs backstage, grabs me a beer from the rider. I thought, yeah, I could get used to this, but I still hadn't seen them play.
The set that followed was a barnstormer.
I think that show made me travel through space and time. It was incredible. I could see they had some great songs, an incredible stage presence, but they had no business sense, which was great for me because it meant that I could really grab onto those coattails and squeeze as much money out of this cash cow as I could.
Frontman Joshua De Laurentiis.
Rick came up to me after the set and said, Josh, the Beatles, the Nirvana, the Robbie Williams, amateurs. You guys could be the biggest band in the world, but you're not going to be able to do it without me. And you know what? I believed him.
Drummer Joel Penman.
Rick pulled out a napkin right there and made us sign a contract before he let us leave. It was actually really awkward.
From there, things started to blow up. That unreleased EP was leaked to Triple J Unearthed, who immediately added 2 of the songs to rotation. Sadly, the master tapes were lost, and no versions of these recordings survive. So it was back into the studio for the sophomore release.
We weren't really sure about how to go about doing the second EP, but we knew we wanted to take it a little bit more seriously this time. I was getting woken up in the middle of the night by calls from people like Nelly Furtado, Sting, and my 3rd grade teacher, Mrs. Tockett, and they're all saying, where are the new recordings?
Then, a fortuitous meeting with producer Jez Giddings.
I'd known about From Oslo for a long time. You could not throw an overpriced avocado around without hitting someone talking about this band, From Oslo this, From Oslo that. So I decided to go down and check them out at Luau. I saw them play, and my God, I thought these guys, they can make me famous. Luckily they fell for it. They came in and recorded. The rest is history. Honestly, I don't know if I'd still be producing music if it wasn't for those guys.
The sessions at Hot House in St Kilda with Giddings yielded another 5-track EP, but this time, they had a secret weapon.
Oh yeah, No Sound. Yeah, what a banger.
It might be the best song ever written.
The first time I heard No Sound, I think I just broke down and wept. It felt like everything in my life had led to that point. So my entire life had meaning, validated solely by hearing that one song.
I was in the studio when Josh was finishing his vocal takes for No Sound. Once that last take was in the can, I went up to the boys and said, "You've just recorded your first hit song, boys."
And a hit song it was. No Sound went on to rack up almost 5 plays on Triple J and landed the band in meetings with every major label in the country. But one label piqued the band's interest. Habit Music Company boss, Nick Liner.
When I saw From Oslo for the first time, I just had to sign them. You see, the thing is this, when you've been kicking around the music business as long as I have, you just know talent when you see it. Pure, raw talent. It's a gut feel thing. I can't explain it. It's the same sort of feeling I imagine Michael Browning would have felt in 1974 when he stumbled across a then unknown AC/DC playing in Melbourne's Hard Rock Cafe. It was a gut feeling that he had, and he just had to sign them on the spot. Of course, 5 years later, on the cusp of global domination, they fired his sorry ass. What can you do? That's the music business for you.
After signing to Habit Music, they picked up a deal with heavyweight booking agency 123. booking agent Harry Moore.
I just thought, here's a band doing something that nobody is doing. People, going to pay through the teeth to see, I just want to be there and smash beers with the boys while they do.
Everything was in place. A hit song that was climbing the charts, signed to an up-and-coming label and major booking agency, and a manager who was gaining notoriety with every passing moment. From Oslo Fever was in full effect.
It was such a crazy time. I could barely even walk through Yayas without someone recognising me from tiling their parents' pool.
But there was one unpredictable piece of the puzzle missing.
All we really need now is to get into the Harbour 100.
That's been our dream from the start, I guess. I don't think you can really call yourself a serious musician if you don't have aspirations to get into the Harbour.
I didn't want to lie to the boys, but I didn't want to give them false hope either. The Harbour 100 is just so fucking hard to get into, but it can really trebuchet your career into the stratosphere.
Well, from Oslo, wherever you are celebrating Harbour 100 Day, strap yourselves into a rocket ship to the stars, because here, at number 15, it's From Oslo, No Sound.